how do you help an autistic person? Because I just know for myself, and it is something I talk about on a semi-frequently basis, because I semi-frequently forget, is that I am autistic. And I've been living, undiagnosed for my entire life until, I got into the system, basically. And now that I got into the system, I've been quietly trying to get out of the system as much as I can to return to my being just wild, just on my own, undocumented, you know. I don't like all that paperwork following me around. So I'm on paper now. I don't think I can ever escape being on paper. Once you're in the system, you're just there. In somebody's computer, on somebody's hard drive, somewhere. And it's globally connected. So if I ever got into any sort of trouble, I mean, it's for my own protection in a lot of ways. So if I ever got into trouble again, they would see a history, or at least, actually, hopefully, they would see a history. So it's a good thing to be in the system. Even though I don't like the idea of it, still, when have I ever known what was, anyway, but I only know for myself when, because this is my experience. I'm the only one having it, dealing with this. It's just me up here. Well, a couple of them, a couple of me's, different versions, and we talk, we have conversations. But, when I get stressed out, well, it's a little different than stressed out. And I don't like so much attention, And when I am upset and just done, people have a tendency to want to help, and they think that they need to help by doing how other people seem to get and appreciate help. It's like, crowd around, help this person. They look like they're having a difficult time, or they're emotionally struggling, or about to cry, or laugh, or run away, and it's like, crowd around. Let's ask them questions. Let's ask them. Let's help them. And that's like the worst thing. It's terrible. And I think that must happen to like regular people too, neurotypical as well. Because you can't treat everything the same. Different people have different things, and it's like that is like the worst possible scenario is because when I am just done, I just need to be by myself and no one talk to me, and that's almost like every day. Um, you know, I interact as much as I can, and then I'm just done, and no one can tell me. So it's like when I'm out and about, and I feel like I'm just done. I'm okay. I've successfully navigated my day, and I've gotten to my point where I can just retreat and just be done and not have to interact anymore with anybody, unless I choose to, but I don't choose to. Um, and then there's people like outside or on the street or in front of the house that seem to think that I have to acknowledge them, and they might ask me questions, they might talk to me, they might feel like I owe them some conversation because they need to check to make sure I'm okay. It's like, I just wanted to go inside the house and get to, it's like, but no, now I have to get outside of myself again and think, okay, what do I say? What is the quickest way to avoid this conversation? Because I don't want to have it. And it's like they're in front of the house, and they have every right to be. And I feel like I should just be able to walk by and not have to say anything, but no, they're there and they're looking at me, and looking at me in the first place, that's a problem. And then they're talking to me, and that's a problem. And now I have to get outside of myself and think about, okay, where was I? What was I doing? How am I doing? What was the question? Think about the question. What is a good response? A response that doesn't lead to more questions, but is an acceptable response for other people so that they will feel like they've communicated and said what they need to say. They've been heard, and but yet I get to go away like I was originally wanting to do. Because the going away part, it's happening. Whether anybody else understands it or not, it's still happening. I will push on through and just get to wherever I'm going, and I don't ask permission. I'm going, and I will hurt feelings, and I'm okay with that because it doesn't do me any good or anybody else any good. They might think it does some good, but if I need to go, I need to go. And the less people interact with me, the better off I am. Because when I feel like I am being forced to interact, I just start to, I don't know, my mind starts to wander to destruction of things. Because I just want to, like, just kind of start to verbally tear people apart, you know? And for some reason, I feel like for whatever, I have an ability to speak constructively and helpfully and supportively. Um, but I feel just as capable of the other direction. And, you know, speaking with vitriol, that's a good word. And very acidic and caustic. And it's like, because I can see it in my writing too, and I try to never, target it. I just try to leave it generalized, because usually it's targeted at me, and it might something might have happened during my day that has me feeling, or it's been like the trigger for it, but it's never about that thing, that one thing. No, it might be something that has been happening over the course of years, or weeks, or months, or whatever. But it's never that one thing. That's just the thing that got me off on it. And people don't seem to understand that it's not about them. And usually, sometimes it is exactly about them, and the person that's triggering it has been the person that's been causing the harm for years without even knowing, but it's just been processing. And so it's like, if they are the trigger of their own, without even knowing. And it's like, oh, that was a whole thing. That was over a year ago now. So, and I don't talk about it, except for right there when I was just talking about it, but I didn't talk about it. I've written about it though, but I didn't talk about it there either because that was all anonymous and no one knows about it. Well, they do because they saw the results and they just saw that I stopped. I just stopped all just emotional interaction. I just shut down, kept shut down, stood fast on shutting down. Did not, it's like no, just no. And it's like all attempts to, try to, it's like no. And it's like, and I'm better off. I mean, I feel better off. I'm sure they're not. I'm sure from their perspective, they feel, extremely like they're the victim, and it's like, I'm the bad guy, I'm the villain. And, by whatever, however they managed it, they still, stayed sober. I mean, what else, what other choice do they have? It's like, I'm not going to be a forced friend. I can't be, you know, I didn't like the way they were feeling like they owned me. and it was their job to watch out for me and protect me and keep me on the right path, because without them, I was just gonna, whoa, go nuts. And I think they were trying to like fill in for my brother, because they knew they knew me well enough, and that was a problem. Um, they knew me well enough to try to strategize and psychologically influence and manipulate me, and to question me, my interpretation of reality. So it's like when they, kind of got the picture that, it's like, well, I miss my brother. And it's like, well, you know, they decided, I guess, to try to fill in. And, I don't know. It got really, they encroached on territory. And it's like, no. And I can't explain it. And I'm not going to anymore. I've referenced it enough. So when an autistic person just, shuts down or, and goes away, let them. They, have been living with whatever they're living with for their entire lives. And they know themselves. They know their limits. They know their boundaries. They don't need another person to start questioning them and interrogating them and getting them to have to continue the conversation. The conversation's done. There might be a new conversation, but whatever conversation that was thought to have been being had, that's done. And whether or not the other people know it, you know, it, it's done. And they just need to stop talking. They go do whatever they're doing, but just talk to each other. Do whatever. Just leave this one alone. So, and it is frustrating, I can imagine, for, because they want to help. They want to help. They see a person, well, who knows? I mean, just people imagine, that, for me, it's like, oh, he must be lonely. He spends so much time, we never see anybody, him hang out with people. He doesn't go anywhere. People don't talk about seeing him anywhere. Um, you know, I I just show up at places, and no one has any idea really of a schedule for me. Um, they know where I work. They know a basic schedule, but as far as me being on vacation these past 2 weeks, it's like no one really knew. You know, I just kept it. It's like people that knew, and people. It's like, but I didn't advertise it and make announcements, and it's like, and then when I got back, I didn't talk about it. I didn't show people pictures. I didn't, and no one asked me. I didn't give them opportunity to ask either, because I'm sure they would, like, how was the trip, or we heard this, or we heard that, and it's like, it's like the people that I include on purpose are the people that I include on purpose, which aren't very many people, because I just don't like the questions, and it's like I I just can't be bothered. And does that make me a bad person or a wrong person? Or I should want to, force myself to try to be like other people and do these things to engage with them and feel like I have to attach emotions onto them and include them on my every little thing. Um, well, I don't know what that means for anybody else, but for me it means it's a hard pass. It's a no. I've pretended to be for other people what I thought they wanted me to be for them for, far too long. And it's exhausting. And everybody wants something different, and they need me to remember all this stuff about them. And and it's just too much. And I that's why I don't like to get to know new people, is because then I have to start remembering all this stuff about people. And they want me to uh, get connected and remember their story and care about them. And I do care. It's just I don't express it the right way, or the way people. It's like the same thing about talking and communicating. I've been talking and communicating my entire life. It's just people didn't know it. I just was doing things differently. Um, so this whole talking phenomenon, this, I was talking. It took me a couple extra years to learn to, because I knew how to talk. I just didn't, because I didn't really apparently feel like it was necessary. But and then before I got into recovery, I only talked. I don't know exactly how I talked, but because I don't remember very well. But I didn't talk like this. Um, and I think I only talked. I didn't talk about feelings or thoughts or ideas. Um, I don't know how I talked. But this kind of talking, not just like here, but even and definitely the writing, that's new. And just the way I do everything. It's, it's, I'm basically just, I've gotten freed up, and I'm no longer trapped in the residual vestiges of my former self. There are some wraps remaining, but I'm slowly, as I find them, peeling them off, and just, yeah, oh yeah, I remember doing that, or I might not, but becoming alive, basically, feels like, getting out of my former skin and living in this new one, because that person's long gone. I don't even know what they were like. I can't ever meet them. There is no recorded history of them. So, anyway, this was mostly supposed to be about dealing with autistic people. And whenever they ask for something, give it to them. They don't ask for much. And when it's a simple thing about being left alone, leave them alone. Do whatever you got to do, but leave them alone. He goes, because I just know that if people persist in investigating or interrogating, um, I see it as hostile action. At least that's how it comes across. It feels like, why are you hurting me? Why do you insist on keep hurting me? And it's like, and that's how it registers. That's how it comes across. And whether I know it or not, consciously, that they don't mean it, for me, it still is registering as hurt. And I remember that. And I just have a general impression of, this person hurts me. And I don't like that. So I will start to not be around them as much, because the next time I start feeling like I need to be, they're going to hurt me again, because they're going to care so much to want to investigate and interrogate me about me needing to be alone or needing to go away. And so it's like, I don't like that. So, and I don't really know what to do. I don't think there's anything I really can't. I, I am myself, and forcing myself to stay interactive when I've done that too. It does not help. I don't. It develops a response. No one wants that response. That's when I have to force myself to stay, in situations that I don't want to be in. It doesn't do anybody any good. And it's like this is me being composed and rational. I don't even know what it looks like. That'll be something interesting when the next thing happens. This is where I'll be, and I will see what that looks like. And this will probably calm me down, as I talk myself down from wherever I am. But there'll be some interesting words, and it's a guarantee that it's going to happen. So I mean, I'm not looking forward to it, but I have an idea of how I'll handle it. The writing has been the main thing, and and if I ever get so, I can always pick up the phone and call somebody. That's only happened once, where I was so I have to talk with somebody. Once in years. Writing has been my thing, and hope, and maybe this will. I don't know. I still have the thing about privacy and anonymity. But no, I think I'm pretty okay. The waters have been tested, so I think I'm pretty hidden here. And also, I feel like I have power or control. Because if I say something or feel like I don't want to share something after the fact, and I still want to put it up, I saw that I can put things to hidden or private, and they're still there. So I know that they're there, and I can look at them, and that gives me a sense of like something. But they're just not visible to anybody else. So it still feels like I've done something. So for everything that anybody sees out there, there's probably like a lot more. It's just scattered all over the place. And so I guess that's it. This is going to be a long upload. And there are times when I wish I could help other people, but help is the last thing they need. They just need their space. Like I need my space. Of course, I take my space. I don't talk about it very much. And I don't request permission, and I don't request understanding, and I don't schedule it. It's just mine. I just take it. And maybe that's where I have problems, because, but then again, I don't have like a lot of connections, and people aren't expecting anything of me. What I already do happen to involve myself with, that's as much as anybody expects with me. And I keep expectations to be very, very low. And I live a very simple life, and I don't have friends or acquaintances really, or many family members that even check in on me. I'm just kind of doing my thing, and that's probably not good, but at least for right now, that is how it is. My social circle is, up here. So, for what it's worth, and for whatever it means, and it doesn't have to mean anything, and it doesn't have to be worth anything, but and there's no hurrying anything about, feeling okay. It takes as long as it takes. And if people understand that, great. But if people don't understand that and they just decide to get frustrated and angry, well, those are the sorts of people that I don't need around me anyway. And if they aren't willing to make the choice, or to understand, or to, then I will make the choice for them. And they will very quickly find themselves on the other side. And for me, the other side is pretty much everybody. So very few people I have in my circle. But I have exceptions. And there's exceptions to every rule. And for me, and I have a lot of rules. I don't even know what all of them are. And they change too. But there are people that you know, just even out and about on my daily life, you know, places I go frequently, um, that have like, I don't know, they've earned some sort of special allegiance or trust or loyalty, or like I will go out of my way for them a bit more, um, and try to explain things a little bit more and check on them a little bit more. Everybody else, I just kind of like, you guys, you should know. You should know better than I do. I can't take care of you. You know, I'm just hoping that you all are taking care of yourselves and know that I'm doing the best I can for myself. So, at over 4 years, approaching 4.5 years of recovery, not that time really means too much, except that it means that's the measure of practice. Practice of being okay. But I think I've earned faith. You know, people can either believe in me, have faith in me, trust me, or they can't. You know, but I am not, you know, just. I think mostly, for the most part, people just understand to just leave me alone. And if I talk to them or engage, it's like it's up to me. And it's like I cannot be pressed. And if people try to force themselves, and it's like that won't turn out well. I just walk away. That's what I do. I don't even make excuses. I'm gone. I will say like people's names and wave and say goodnight or whatever, but I don't, you know, I don't talk about like, oh, what am I going to go do with the rest of my night or anything. It's just people just know that I go away, and then like the next day or next 2 days or 3 days from now, it's like I'll show back up and I will be fine. And what people think about what I do in the meantime, they can think. I don't care. You know, I used to care more, but now I just don't. And just the fact that I keep doing what I do, and it's like I feel okay about it, and I don't require other people to understand it for me to feel okay about it. I don't require them to approve of it for me to feel okay about it, because I don't feel like I have any peers around here, you know, not in this little local environment that are qualified to have any insight onto what my experience is like. So it is very lonely, but you know, that's been a thing my entire time here in Indiana, is, you know, not having a home, and being, you know, just kind of the outsider, you know, always feeling, but it's just, these are old issues, and I'm not going to solve them, ever, really. And that could be like disheartening or discouraging, and for probably a lot of people, but to me it's normal. These are normal things. So it's not, my version of normal is different, and everybody's version of normal is different, but these are normal to me, and they matter to me, but they don't matter the same as how they might matter to somebody else. So anyway, this video is approaching the half-hour mark, which is a record, and this little thing has been going on for a week. Just a week. Let's see, Saturday, crazy. I was in Wisconsin last Saturday in a hotel room 315 at the Holiday Inn, Express Inn and Suites on Highway 8 in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, at the top of the hill. And it was a crazy winter up there. It was mild, but the trees were really cool. Man, I'm glad I took as many pictures as I did. I enjoy them. And there's more, too. I just, you know, I haven't put them anywhere. You know, but, and the videos. Yeah, those aren't going up. You know, not here. They're just private, you know. And there's nothing bad. It's just silly, and I feel stupid. So, singing, So I'm not putting up any singing videos yet. Maybe never. So that, yeah, no. Anyway, this has gone on long enough, and this helps. So. Hmm?